In Bangladesh, traffic can turn a 30-minute trip into 2 hours. Millions live in fragile metal houses, and the air is among the world's most polluted. Despite poverty, pollution, and overcrowding, people show incredible resilience. Join us at Eagle Discovery to explore the harsh realities of life in this challenging country. Dhaka, the heart of Bangladesh. Dhaka is not just the capital of Bangladesh, it's the vibrant heart of the country, a place that never stops moving. With a population exceeding 15 million, it is one of the world's most densely populated cities. As the gateway to Bangladesh, Dhaka offers both a chaotic and exhilarating experience for visitors. Expect bustling streets, the constant sound of horns, and an unending flow of people and vehicles. The city's infrastructure is in a constant state of flux, struggling to keep pace with rapid urbanization. A visit to Dhaka will be marked by the palpable energy in the air, but the traffic, perhaps the city's greatest challenge, will be one of the first things you'll encounter. Navigating through this congestion requires patience and strategic planning, particularly when the rush hour strikes. Rickshaws, cars, and motorcycles jostle for space, making travel a daily challenge for Dhaka's residents. As the population continues to surge, the roadways remain overwhelmed, a stark reminder of the city's need for an infrastructural overhaul. How is Dhaka adapting to these growing pains? Stick with us to explore how this megacity grapples with its challenges while keeping its unique charm intact. Overcrowded slums, life in Dhaka's informal settlements. As Dhaka expands, many of its residents are forced into informal settlements, where millions live in makeshift homes crafted from discarded materials like tin sheets, plastic, and wood. These slums, often tucked away in narrow alleys or along the outskirts of the city, lack the basic infrastructure that many take for granted: clean water, proper sanitation, and safe housing. Despite the harsh conditions, including vulnerability to flooding and extreme weather, the people living in these communities have created tight-knit networks that provide support and solidarity. The situation is compounded by limited access to health services, making it even harder for families to thrive. In these informal settlements, children often grow up without the benefits of education or a stable home, and many adults face daily uncertainty about their future. Yet, the resilience shown by these residents is extraordinary. In the face of adversity, they form vibrant communities that act as crucial social support systems, displaying remarkable strength in the face of challenges that are beyond their control. The garment industry, exploitation and hardship behind the trend. Bangladesh's garment industry is a powerhouse on the global stage, but behind the cheap prices and trendy styles lies a harsh reality. The country produces clothes for major international brands such as Levi's, H&M, and Zara. Despite the booming industry contributing significantly to Bangladesh's economy, the conditions for many factory workers are far from ideal. Many factory workers work long hours in overcrowded, poorly ventilated spaces where safety standards are frequently ignored. The collapse of the Rana Plaza building in 2013, which claimed over 1,100 lives, brought the dire conditions of the garment industry into the global spotlight. Despite this tragedy, many workers continue to endure subpar wages, often earning less than $2 a day, which barely covers their living expenses. For many, there is little choice but to work in these conditions, as the garment industry remains one of the few sources of steady income in an otherwise limited job market. These workers, while producing products for a global market, face a daily battle for survival in a system that is stacked against them. Poor sanitation, a silent struggle for cleanliness. Sanitation in Bangladesh remains a quiet crisis, particularly in densely populated urban areas like Dhaka. The country's infrastructure struggles to keep up with the rapidly growing population, leading to inadequate waste management and sanitation services. With about 60% of the population lacking access to improved sanitation, many urban and rural areas rely on open sewers, which not only pollute the environment but also pose significant health risks. Diseases like diarrhea, cholera, and typhoid are common, particularly in the rainy season when streets flood, further exacerbating sanitation challenges. While efforts are being made to improve the situation, such as the construction of public toilets and community education campaigns, progress remains slow. The lack of proper sanitation facilities severely impacts public health, especially in urban slums and poorer neighborhoods where access to healthcare is already limited. The government and local communities are working together, but addressing the sanitation crisis remains a long-term challenge. Air pollution, a breath of danger. Air pollution in Bangladesh is an issue that affects not just the environment but public health as well. Dhaka, in particular, is notorious for its poor air quality, ranking among the cities with the worst pollution levels globally. The air is filled with harmful particulate matter, PM 2.5, which poses a serious health risk to residents. The sources of pollution are varied. Industrial emissions from factories, the exhaust of old vehicles running on low-quality fuel, and the burning of crop residue in rural areas all contribute to the toxic haze that blankets the city. While the government has taken steps to reduce pollution by promoting cleaner technologies and stricter emissions regulations, the problem is deeply entrenched. Air pollution exacerbates respiratory issues, increases heart disease, and impacts the overall quality of life for millions. The efforts to curb pollution are underway, but it will take years to see significant improvements. Until then, residents must contend with the daily reality of breathing in air that is often hazardous to their health. Traffic congestion, a daily struggle. Traffic in Dhaka is a perpetual challenge, with roads often clogged with cars, buses, rickshaws, and motorcycles. The city's public transportation system is overwhelmed by the sheer volume of commuters, making even short trips a time-consuming ordeal. What might be a 30-minute journey elsewhere can easily stretch into hours in Dhaka, especially during rush hour. The city's infrastructure, unable to support the increasing population, is a significant contributor to the congestion. Public transportation, such as buses and rickshaws, are often overcrowded, and the lack of a cohesive, efficient transportation network means that many residents rely on private vehicles, further adding to the traffic woes. To address this, the government has introduced new projects like the metro rail system, but it remains to be seen whether these initiatives will provide the much-needed relief to the millions who deal with the daily grind of Dhaka's traffic. The social and psychological impact of traffic. Living in Dhaka means learning to cope with the mental and physical toll that comes with daily traffic congestion. For many, the commute is a source of immense frustration, anxiety, and stress. Narrow roads, constant honking, and the danger of accidents make travel a nerve-wracking experience. The physical and emotional strain of spending hours stuck in traffic can contribute to increased stress levels, mental fatigue, and even decreased productivity. The inability to get to work or return home on time can also impact family life, as many people are forced to spend long hours away from their loved ones. The chaotic and noisy environment only adds to the tension, making Dhaka's traffic congestion a serious issue, not just for its commuters, but for the city's overall well-being. Public safety, a growing concern in urban areas. Urban centers like Dhaka are not only grappling with issues of traffic and sanitation, but are also facing challenges related to public safety. As the population grows and the city becomes more congested, the risk of crime increases. Petty theft and opportunistic crimes are common in busy markets, public transport systems, and crowded streets. With limited resources, law enforcement faces an uphill battle to ensure safety in such densely packed areas. Though efforts are underway to improve security, such as the installation of surveillance cameras and increased police presence in key areas, the challenge remains daunting. Public safety, along with infrastructure improvements, is a priority that will require collaboration between government, law enforcement, and the public to effectively address. Bangladesh's economic struggles. Despite remarkable economic growth in recent years, Bangladesh faces significant economic challenges. Unemployment, particularly in rural areas, remains high, as many people struggle to find well-paying, stable jobs. The concentration of job opportunities in urban areas like Dhaka has led to an influx of migrants seeking work, putting immense pressure on the city's infrastructure. Inflation, particularly in essentials like food and housing, is also a growing concern, making it increasingly difficult for low-income families to make ends meet. Bangladesh's economy faces other systemic challenges too, including underdeveloped infrastructure, inadequate power systems, and inefficiencies in its transportation networks. While growth has been impressive, these factors continue to hinder the country's potential, presenting challenges for both businesses and citizens alike. The fusion of religion and culture. Bangladesh's rich cultural landscape is shaped by centuries of religious and historical influences. While the country is predominantly Muslim, the impact of Hinduism, Buddhism, and animism is also deeply embedded in its cultural fabric. Islam was introduced in the 14th century, but the region was once a thriving center for Hindu and Buddhist civilizations. This historical blend of cultures and faiths has led to a unique spiritual identity. Religious festivals such as Eid and Durga Puja are celebrated with enthusiasm, and practices from different traditions often intermingle in everyday life. The fusion of these diverse religious influences can be seen in the rituals, festivals, and customs that continue to shape how people in Bangladesh practice their faith and connect with their communities today. Biriyani, a taste of Bangladesh's culinary heritage. No exploration of Bangladesh is complete without delving into its cuisine, which offers a window into the country's history and diverse cultural influences. One of the most iconic dishes is biryani, a flavorful, aromatic rice dish often paired with tender meats such as chicken, beef, or mutton. The dish is rich with spices and herbs, showcasing the complex blend of Bengali culinary traditions. In Bangladesh, food is not just nourishment, but an experience that unites families and communities. Eating with your hands is a cultural norm in Bangladesh, making meals even more intimate and communal. Street food culture also thrives in Bangladesh, with vendors offering a variety of quick, flavorful dishes that provide an authentic taste of local life. The rhythm of the Bangladeshi meal schedule is distinct, with breakfast often consisting of fermented rice, lunch being a hearty combination of lentils and rice, and dinner being a late-night affair, often featuring rice and milk-based desserts. Visa requirements for Bangladesh. If you're considering a trip to Bangladesh, it's important to familiarize yourself with the visa requirements to ensure a smooth travel experience. For most international visitors, a tourist visa is required, which typically permits a stay of up to 30 days. However, visa regulations vary depending on nationality, so it's essential to check for the latest guidelines before applying. Visa applications can be submitted either through the Bangladeshi consulate or online, with processing times ranging from 7–10 business days. For business travelers, an invitation letter from a Bangladeshi organization is typically required, while those seeking to work in Bangladesh should be aware of the country's income tax policies and employment regulations. Proper preparation ensures a hassle-free trip, allowing travelers to fully enjoy the rich culture and vibrant experiences Bangladesh has to offer. Thanks for watching. Despite the challenges, the resilience of Dhaka's people offers hope for a brighter future. Stay tuned for more stories from Bangladesh.